I got to go see a little film called Detective Pikachu last night. So I went out to go see Detective Pikachu, and I was expecting fun, funny, cute and adorable, and a solid package of a movie. That's what I was expecting. What did Detective Pikachu give me? Well, I'll say this overall. It's not a very good story. It is unfortunately not a very good story to it. It has some pretty significant plot holes to it. It also has a lot of things that happen in the movie that really shouldn't have happened and then just were like, oh gosh, that was convenient, and a lot of that kind of stuff. You know, one of the things I've been hearing a lot of people say about Detective Pikachu is that if you're into Pokemon, then this movie's for you. You know, if you're into Pokemon, then this movie was made for you. And if you're not into Pokemon, you could probably come along for the ride. Now, I'm not somebody who's really into Pokemon. And I can tell you that what those people said is absolutely true. I could just tell that there was a lot of stuff in this movie that was going right over my head because, I guess saying bloop bloop doing a gleekity gleek is funny to the audience because I don't know what a bloopty bloop or a gleekity gleeky is. But anyway, so that seemed to really appeal to a lot of the audience. But yeah, and by the way, I went, Anne was busy last night, so Kaori Takei came with me, and 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes into the movie, I leaned over to Kaori and I told her the resolution of the film and how the film, my guess is like, oh, they're going to do this, and this turns out to be this, and this turns out to be this. And the movie ended, and that's exactly what happened. And she turned to me, she's like, how did you know? I'm like, it was just kind of obvious. So anyway, there's that whole thing. But I will say, one of the things I was expecting from a Detective Pikachu was for it to be incredibly cute. And incredibly cute it was. I was there with Kaori, and Kaori is a Pokemon fan. And like, she was like, several times through the movie, you can just hear Corey say out loud, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Just because like something would come on screen. And true to form, it was adorable. A lot of the things in this were adorable. I wanted some laughs. It definitely gave some laughs. So as somebody who's not really into the Pokemon stuff, I gotta say, I was able to go along with most of it, but I think a lot of the decent stuff went over my head. Now, I'm gonna say this too. One of the really glaring negatives of the movie, unfortunately for me, is they try in the first like 10, 15 minutes of the film to set it up as if, hey, this is the real world, just imagined if Pokemon live in it. And it kind of felt like that. They were taking it half seriously. It's like, oh yeah, this is the world we live in and blah, 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 blah. And then came along a character played by Catherine Newton. And I like Catherine Newton a lot because she's a semi-regular on Supernatural. She was going to be one of the stars of the Wayward Sisters. And I do not blame her as the actress. She just did what she was told. But that character was so Saturday morning cartoon character that it just instantly pulled me out of the movie every time they were in it. I think that's the way the character was written. I don't think it was her fault. I think that's the way the character was written. And it was really unfortunate they did that. Although her Pokemon, I believe the name is Psyduck, I think. Don't kill me if I'm wrong about that. But her Pokemon was completely adorable too. And you've got Bill Nye is in it. It's like, I love Bill Nighy, and he's great in it, and I really dug that. And of course, yes, Bill Nighy is very different from Bill Nighy. It's Bill Nighy is in it, the great actor. And so at the end of the day, is this a really good movie? Nah. But is it worth seeing if you want to just go and have some giggles and feel the cuteness of it? Then yeah, it is. I walked out going, yeah, I had a modestly good time watching it, but I do think if you're into Pokemon, I think it's going to hit even better for you. So yeah, that's my overall. If you're not into Pokemon, I'd say, yeah, go with somebody who's going to see it anyway. I think you may have a decent enough time. Just understand, as a motion picture, it's got some glaring weaknesses. But if you're into Pokemon, this movie was made for you. And I think you're going to get a real kick out of it. So that's kind of my thoughts on Pokemon.
John, let me ask you, for a movie like this, it sounds to me like it's called Detective Pikachu.
Yes, it is.
So that implies that there's a mystery, and you went in and you said you nailed what the mystery was 5 minutes after the movie started. I would say that for myself, for all the goofiness and my lack of knowledge about Pokemon, if there's still a good mystery within the world, I would like the film. But if you say that you'd figured it out after 5 minutes, the mystery itself doesn't work, or does it?
Well, I mean, that's actually a great question, because here's the thing. I was at point A. I figured out what point Z was. But there was a lot of unanswered questions about, well, how does that happen? Like if point Z is where we end up, I have no idea how that gets there. And there were still several things along the way. So yeah, there is a rudimentary mystery involved in the movie that they start going on. Now, one of the things you find out from the trailer is that they're searching for his dad. They're searching for Justice Smith's dad, right? The secondary mystery is Pokemon. They don't reveal this in the trailer, but I don't feel like I'm giving you a spoiler at all here. The secondary mystery is Pikachu has no memory. And Pikachu, because something happened. So there are two actual separate mysteries going on. There's the primary mystery, trying to find the dad. We know that from the trailer. The secondary mystery is finding out what happened to Pikachu. And that's the secondary mystery that goes along. And then there's a couple of other little questions along the way as they go. And it's rudimentary. It's basic. It was a nice little television show mystery, not a motion picture mystery, you know? But again, if you're somebody who you can go in and say if something is really cute and makes you giggle and laugh and smile a little bit, I think this is a movie that even if you're not a Pokemon fan, you can like. But if you're a Pokemon fan, this is really more for you than anybody else. So that's my thoughts on that.